And it should start recording. Okay, so my name is Israel Vargas, and I am the Assistant Provost for College Access and Targeted Recruitment Programs here at Roosevelt University. My job is to make sure that we are pushing out the social justice mission of our university by engaging in community activities that have positive social impact. I could be working with a group in Brighton Park, working on violence prevention. I could be working in Humboldt Park, working on graduation rates. I could be working in Cicero, working on helping people with mental health issues, right? Everything has to do with social justice. Does anybody know what social justice means? Do you have an idea what social justice means? Anybody? It's too early? I'm sorry? Protecting people, there's a lot of definitions. To me, social justice means equality. That means that everybody, regardless of who you are, should have access to education, to a roof over your head, to transportation, to food. That's the way it should be, right? Nobody should be deprived. Why is this important to me, and why am I here at Roosevelt University doing this work? Well, prior to me coming over here, I used to be an executive director. Executive director is like the president of a company. I was an executive director of a nonprofit that housed homeless men, women, and children for 5.5 years. I had babies in there, I had grown-ups in there, and you'd be surprised that predominantly, most of those people just couldn't find a job because they didn't have an education. You know, we grow up with gender roles, right? So we grow up to think that men are supposed to be doing this and women are supposed to be doing that. And sometimes those conditionings, what it does is it prevents us from reaching our full potential, learning as much as we can, so that we can be independent when the time and if it comes. Does that make sense? So we have all of these people coming to my shelter. We feed them 3 times a day. We help them find employment. We help them find housing. And you will think, well, that would never happen to me. Well, I made a video not too long ago that says that most of us are a paycheck away from being homeless because of the way that the system is, the injustices, the economy, the competitiveness between one person to another. See, if I'm an employer and I get 100 resumes and all of them look the same, I'm going to use another tactic to see who I'm going to hire. But if you set yourself apart from those 100 in there, from the 99 in there, you're going to be the one that I'm going to pull out and hire. What does that mean, setting yourself apart? That means you got to find your niche. You got to find that one thing you're special at, and you got to capitalize on it by informing yourself as much as possible on how you can navigate the system to gain that notoriety or marketability so that you can always have employment. And you're like, well, what does, I don't know, I'm confused. What's all this about? Well, think about it. I was in charge of a $1.2 million budget. $1.2 million, and I would never think that I would be given that responsibility after doing 12 years in prison. See, in 1990, I ended up getting involved in some gang activity, and I got locked up for something somebody else did, and I had to do 12 years and 9 months. And so I came out and I'm thinking, well, is it true what they say that if you got a background, you cannot find employment? And today I'm here as proof to you that that is not the case. But it has to do with 2 factors, internal and external. Internal has to do with how you feel about yourself, how you value yourself, how significant you know that you are. And external, what resources you're going to attack to get so that you can become marketable. To me, it's always going to be education. See, while I was in there, I studied and got 2 associate's degrees, and then I came out and went for my bachelor's, and then I went for a master's. That's the only reason I have this job right now, because I have a master's degree, and because of my experience in life, which connects with the social justice mission of this institution. And I'm reaching out to those groups that a lot of colleges will not reach out to, because I say that is bogus. How are you going to leave these people over here and try to recruit from over here or give opportunities from over here? I mean, everybody deserves an education. And we have the ability to get it, we just don't know sometimes because we're not paying attention half the time. See, what happens is that we're not trying to inform ourselves, we're just living. We're just living. We know our parents have to do a lot of stuff, but we don't know, we know in general, but, we don't know the little pieces that go in there. Guys, you are young. That means that you need the necessary information to effectively navigate society. Cue number one is understanding the system. If you understand the system, if you know how it works, you know how to navigate it. You know how to gain those resources. Let me give you an example. How many of you like chocolate? If I had chocolate right here, right now, I would pass it out. You guys can open it right away and eat it and enjoy it. It melts in your mouth, M&M and all that. How many of you know that the FDA approves 60 grams of insect parts in chocolate? I'm sorry, how many of you know that the FDA approves 60 grams of insect parts in chocolate? How many of you like peanut butter? Do you know that the FDA approves a maximum of 1 rodent hair in peanut butter? So I ask you, if you were to have known this information prior to me giving you the chocolate or the peanut butter sandwich, would you have taken it? Would you have eaten it? Yeah? No?
No, of course not.
But it's not about the yes or the no, because some people will eat it. I myself will take a dab at it. The issue is not that. The issue here is that as long as you know all the information, once you make the decision, you know exactly you made a decision based on all the information you had available. What that does to you is instill upon you a certain level of responsibility for your decision. See, you no longer can blame nobody. You cannot eat the chocolate and then learn, oh my God, the system has betrayed me. No, you didn't go out there to try to find out everything. The system did not betray you. You betrayed yourself by not trying to find out the information that was necessary to make a decision. What are the pros and what are the cons of any decision that we make? Fully informed in making decisions. We know we have to go to high school. We know we have to go to college. It might not be easy for some of us. I know it wasn't for me. When I was 19, I knew I needed to go to college, but I didn't know how to. What do I do? I didn't have somebody like me in front of you talking to you about these things. I didn't know. Do I take the bus? Do I take a taxi? Who do I talk to when I get there? Do I just walk in? I'm kind of like shy, not, right? And instead, I took to those things that I was sure about because I didn't inform myself, which was the gang life. And I ended up paying the price for it. You have an opportunity to understand the importance of your journey right now as you're moving through high school onto a college education. Your responsibility is to be fully informed so that you can make the right decisions. I got kids that go into high school freshman year, they're messing around, sophomore year, they're messing around, junior year comes, oh my God, I'm getting close to graduate, I need these credits because I didn't get them, I need to study for the ACT, bam, next thing you know, they take the ACT, they got a 2.0 GPA, ACT is like 16, and now they're lost, they're like, oh, what am I gonna do? No college is gonna want me, no university is gonna want me. You waited too long. You waited too long. Now you're going to have to fight hard to get to that point. When you could have made it easy by coming in from the get-go and understanding what high school is all about. Because I need to get good scores so that I can get to a good college, so that I can get a good job, so that I don't have to end up homeless. Bottom line. It is what it is. We're here for that, to survive, right? Guys, you are significant. That means that you are needed to ensure that our society addresses the needs of our communities through positive social change. Let's do a little exercise when it comes to information. We know that our parents are paying bills. We know that they work to pay bills. Do we know the little details behind that? Possibly not. Can I get 2 volunteers here? You and you. Somebody's assigned to use a phone for a calculator. Who wants to be assigned to use the phone for a calculator? You got it. Here. Here. Take a position right there. Check this out, guys. How old are you now?
14.
How old are you? When you were 25, what kind of car do you want to drive? Okay, put Bentley or 50. Bentley. What about you? Come on now. Oh, okay. There you go, put camera over there. Here, you sit right here. Right here. So you can help me out with this. I hate math. How many of you hate math? But it's so important because look at this. You got a 24-year-old man out here, right? And I need a calculator to do math because I'm not that quick. You got Camaro? You got Bentley? It don't matter how you spell it. You should know how to spell it because if you want a Bentley, you better know how to spell Bentley. Okay, that's fine. Okay, do you want to rent an apartment or do you want to own? Okay, put house. Now we get dirty here. Check this out. So, a Camaro is what price is going by right now? 35,000? That must be your basic with fake rims and everything, right? Really? Okay, so 35,000 at 72-month financing, 0% interest per year, and all that lingo I didn't know when I was your age. I had to learn that as I'm traversing the system. You got an opportunity to learn that now. 72 months is the way they finance a car. You get anywhere from 40-something to 72. That means you got 72 months to pay for that car. So 35 divided by 72 months.
35,000.
Yeah, 35,000. Give me $480 there because I hate little numbers. 480 next to it. Take them out. 480. Now, check this out. That's $480 a month. A month, he has to have a minimum of $480 in his pocket so he can pay for that Camaro. Now, Bentley. Good. What are we talking about here? How much is a Bentley? I'm sorry?
That's about 300,000.
300,000. Really? 300,000 divided by 72. 4,160, please.
No, Bentley,
Hold it.
the base model.
Give me a base
Yeah,
model.
the base model for 180.
180? Give me 180 divided by 72. Erase that right there. How much? 2,500. 2,500. Okay. Now, a house, when you buy a house, you can either get a conventional or FHA. FHA, you don't have to put no money down. If you're going to do a house, a mortgage, it's going to be 30 years, right? And remember guys, I didn't add interest to this. I just went basic. I didn't put that monthly interest rate for lending you that money to get that car, right? So that's like flat out. So on a house, typically a house will cost around $250, and I'm not gonna tell you what you want in the house because you're gonna come up with a pool and a basketball court, and that's just gonna kill it right there. So I'm just gonna give you a basic house, okay? 250,000, 30-year loan. So 250,000 divided by 30. I'm not including there your 8,000 what? Good Lord, can you put that there? You put it there too. By 30 years? Really? That's a lot.
Is that what you're paying a month or a year?
You're paying a month. But that's a lot for 250. Because I had a condo for 130 and I was paying 1,060 every month.
Is it 833?
833?
No, that's more than that.
So we're talking about 250,000 divided
It's about two.
by 30. And then divide that by 12.
Yeah,
Divide that by 12.
it's about 13. I can't get it out, by the way.
694. Erase that, put 694 there.
That's not right.
That's fine, we're gonna leave it like that, 694.
At least 1,000, at least 1,000.
Yeah, 'cause
At least, it can't be no.
Okay, now, check this out, guys. This is where it gets good. When you buy a car, you have responsibilities. You have to buy a city sticker. In Chicago, it costs $100. You have to buy the plate sticker. That costs $100. You have to put gas in the car. And if you have a gas guzzler, like the Bentley, that's gonna be a lot of money. You gotta pay insurance for the car. You wanna wash your car, because I like to wash my car. I like my car to be neat. You're gonna have your every 3 months oil change, you know, things like that. These are brand new cars, so we're not gonna have any maintenance like that. Over here on the bottom of the house, I want you to put car maintenance, and you can abbreviate. So, and I'm gonna use my little card for this one right here. I'm putting $400 minimum of gas a month. I'm paying on insurance 100 and I'm gonna say 200. So 400, 200, that's 600. I wash my car every other week, $10, because I go to a cheap place. That's 20. So we're talking about 620. I'm not gonna start going into detail with dividing the city sticker and by 12 months and all of that. So put there on car maintenance next to it 480. Is that what it said? 480. Okay. Now, if you have a house, that's responsibility too. You're gonna have insurance that you gotta pay. You gotta pay property taxes. You bought the house, not the land. The land belongs to the government. You gotta pay for having that house there. You gotta pay for light. You gotta pay for gas. You gotta pay for water. You gotta pay for garbage removal. You want cable. You're gonna need a phone. I'm gonna be very conservative with these numbers, and I'm gonna say that all of that put together is gonna be about $800. Give me $800 underneath for house maintenance. That's utilities and everything. And 800. And guess what, guys? I didn't even mention food. I didn't even mention food. No, 800. 800. Okay, now add all of that up, and then add all of this up. She's doing it for you guys. But if you're quicker, go ahead.
That's real, what he's talking about right now.
Guys, are you getting what I'm trying to tell you right now? Guess what? We haven't gone to the movies. We haven't gone to Uncle Joey's party. We haven't gone to Cynthia's baptism. I have not bought you the latest Jordans. You're not styling the latest jeans out there. Forget about Easter, forget about Christmas, forget about all of that. Why forget about all of that? I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as they get done here, after you get done doing the calculation, multiply it by 12, please.
What about kids?
I'm going to get to that point.
just take care of yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Are you getting where I'm saying at? Right? This is very important because you're talking about, I myself, I'm a single man. I got 2 kids that I got to support. So I got to take care of myself and I got to take care of my kids. So that means that I have to have a job that's going to bring in the income for me to be able to be a responsible father and a responsible individual as myself, right? So by 12, round of applause for the guys. That's good. You guys got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's okay. Guys, check this out. So, the young man right there needs to bring a minimum of $29,000 a year to just have this and nothing else. Remember, he doesn't have a cell phone right now. He cannot get the iPhone right now unless he makes more than this. She needs to bring a minimum in employment a year, $53,000, a minimum. And she doesn't have the latest iPhone. She cannot afford Comcast. She can't even eat. So, this is the reality, guys. with a high school diploma or GED, entry level, $19,000 a year. So if you think you're gonna just get your high school diploma or GED and that's it and go get a job, expect that. That means I'm a single person. I cannot even make it on that. I will have to live with somebody. I will have to depend on the system. And why would we want to depend on the system? That makes no sense. So if you get an associate of arts or science, you're looking at a minimum of 23 entry level. If you get a bachelor's, you're looking at a minimum of 28 entry level. And a master's, 35 entry level. That means that if you want to bend it, you're going to need to be a doctor. That means you got to work for that. You're even short for your Camaro over here. This is entry level. Guys, if you had a child, you got to have $14,000 a year. If you had two, you got to have 28,000. And the cost of living increases every year. So those is going to go up. That's the reality. That's why a lot of us struggle out there. Child support and everything, I mean, it can really hit the pocket. So you have to work hard for it, right? So when I say entry level, that means that you have finished your bachelor's degree and all you have is school. You have done nothing else in your life. People with experience are going to have a part-time job here, volunteer work here, community service hours here, and oftentimes at our young age, we just kicking it. We just watching TV, we're going, to a party, going to the mall, We never take a little time to go and do something for somebody else that's selfless. And when I used to hire people, I used to look at their resume, and yeah, you got a master's, yeah, you got all of this work experience, but if you don't have compassion, if you don't have dedication, I'm not going to hire you. Because you're not going to be committed to the people I'm serving. You're only committed to yourself. What sets you apart? What is your niche? That's the way to make it out here. So, you have to go through a transformation from this point on forward. You have taken ownership of your life because you are in this program, because you want to do something different, because you want to be set apart from everybody else. That says a lot about your leadership skills right now. You're top notch. And you need to capitalize on that advantage that you have, because there's a lot of kids out there that are doing nothing. You set yourself apart. The transformation means modifying habits. Modifying habits is going to be very important. And you think, oh my God, how do I modify how do I change the way that I am? I am who I am, and that's it, and all that, right? Who's having trouble? What's your course that you're having trouble with? English. What could you possibly do to change that? Because you have the power to change that. Read more. Do you read more? Right. We're confronted with a problem. We don't do anything about it. Like it's going to go away. It's not going to go away. English is such an important component in entering into college. English can be the difference between you having to pay for the first semester to take an English class to get you to the college level. Why would you do that? Why would you put that burden on yourself? Easy. At any given time during the week, you may have some downtime. I'm not telling you to read a whole book in a day. I'm not even telling you to read half of it. All I'm telling you is give yourself 15 minutes per week to read a book. 15 minutes. Or 3 pages. I'm going to read 3 pages per week. And then commit to it. On Wednesdays at 4 o'clock is my 3-page reading commitment. What you're going to see is that little change right there is going to start making such a positive impact in your English courses. then you're gonna see the power that you have over yourself to really make a difference in your life. And you're gonna wanna read more. Next thing you know, you're gonna be taking books out of the library. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. But if you don't put that first step, that first commitment, it's never gonna happen. It's not gonna go away. You're gonna continue to have problems in English. I see some of you are bored and they're sleeping.
I hope not.
So, modifying habits are very important. Guys, you have the power to change your environment as well, not only within you, but externally. Who's your alderman? Who's your state rep? Who's the mayor of Chicago? Can you do me a favor, Janet? Down there, Barbara Reiner from the police down there, can you tell her to hold off for me? I'm almost done, and then come back up? I appreciate it. So, if you don't know who's your political leader, how do you expect to change anything that's happening in your neighborhood? Do you know that you have more power than I do? By having the access to walk into an alderman's office and having a meeting with the alderman. Think about it. We put the alderman here, and me here, and you here. And I tell the alderman, I'm experiencing a lot of violence in my neighborhood. And then you tell the alderman that you are experiencing a lot of violence in the neighborhood. Who do you think he's going to listen to? Her. That's how much power they got. That's how much power you got. Because they hear it from grown-ups all the time. But when they hear it from you, now it becomes serious. And you are the future leaders that are going to be voting. And they're going to want to keep those votes. And that's why they're going to listen to you. That's how much power you have. By having that power, you have a responsibility to do something in your neighborhood to change things. And there's people out there that can help you with that. You start building positive things in your neighborhood, and what happens is that you become valuable. You become valuable. Not only you have to build it, but you're responsible for telling the next generation, just like I'm telling you, what they need to do to be self-sufficient out here in society. Because why will you build a castle and then walk away so that the next generation can come in and tear it down because you were not addressing them appropriately? So you're going to build it and you're going to pass on the information so that they can maintain it. That's going to be very important. Once you start doing that, you're going to see maturity in yourself. The maturity is going to come from you acknowledging your own power. By you knowing you have this power, you know you have this responsibility, you're going to be making the right decisions. This is going to be your aha moment. Ah, okay. Now I see what he was talking about. See, today I plant the seed. You're not going to take action right away because you have pieces of a large picture. But as you're moving along, these gaps are going to be filled with other pictures to make that big picture of life that is you and how successful you're going to be out there. That make sense? Thank you so much, guys. So inside there's cards, prospect cards. If you guys can fill them out and pass it along, and when the ambassador gets here, we'll take you on a tour. Thank you so much, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.